Fire. It's one of the greatest hazards you can face at sea. Even a very small fire, and they all start small, can quickly become a major disaster. It can threaten not just the vessel and its cargo, but also your life and the lives of your workmates. What's more, even if a fire doesn't kill you, it can change your life, your appearance, or your ability to provide for yourself and the people who depend on you. It's vital to be proactive about fire safety, and that includes helping to foster a strong safety culture amongst everyone on board. So, think fire every day you are on a ship. Remember, fire safety depends on firm and imaginative leadership, the delegation of duties to the right person, constant vigilance, and clear communication. Start by making sure rescue techniques and advice form part of drills and training. And if there isn't one already in place, set up a regular fire patrol on board. Coordinating firefighting teams relies on command and control. In this programme, we're going to look at setting up the contingency plan and the command and control at the point of the fire emergency. The first task of command and control is to provide the 3 C's.
Guys, smoke detected in steering gear room.
Coordination, communication, and control. Right from the first moment the fire is reported, these 3 processes must be established quickly.
Okay, guys, you ready?
Otherwise, the 4th C, chaos, will take over.
Helmets and gloves.
The organisation of firefighting on board depends on the size of the ship and crew. But typically, the master has the coordinating role in the command centre, which is normally on the bridge or at some other safe place from which the engines can be controlled if the bridge is out of action. The officers and crew are usually organised into different emergency parties. 1 or more attack parties, plus the first aid, engine room and support parties. How many parties there are and how many people are in each one will depend on the type of ship and size of the crew. The assignment of crew members to each of these teams is usually made when crew join the ship, and the details posted at muster stations throughout the ship. Although they should be interchangeable, the parties should be kept together as units. Each one has specific duties. Wherever possible, members should be chosen on experience, physical condition, age, and any special knowledge or training. Other factors should be taken into consideration as well. For example, claustrophobic tendencies could be an issue when it comes to wearing breathing apparatus, or BA, or entering enclosed spaces.
We're going around the hoses already.
On ships with only 1 emergency party, the chief officer will usually take charge.
Bridge, chief.
Chief, Captain, what is the latest situation?
Yeah, Captain, Chief.
That's 5 minutes now, Captain, till the whistle for fire team number 1.
What would you like us to do next?
Chief, Captain. Okay, keep the fire watch and boundary curing and keep me updated every 10 minutes.
If the fire is in the engine room, company procedures will often require the designated engineering officer to take over.
So, what about on signers?
Pick the right people for each party. Select the person who has the right skills, not just the holder of a certain job.
This guy has recently done advanced firefighting again.
Never choose people who are not right for a particular role. Each team must be fully trained. Be proactive about training. Take it seriously and make sure others do too.
Spare oxygen waters, yes, which should be.
All crew members must be familiar with the various alarm systems and sounds on board ship. They must know the location of emergency telephones, with which they can report to the bridge if radios are not available. Crew members must also know where to muster and the quickest route to the muster point. They must know where key equipment is located, like BA sets, protective clothing and so on, and what personal protective equipment they will need for their duties within the party. On mustering, a roll call must be taken. It's essential all crew members muster quickly and have their names checked off promptly when the alarm is sounded. That's because if a person is missing, the leader of that team must notify the bridge and start a search immediately. The support team is vital. They fetch additional equipment and extra air cylinders for the BA sets. They will often provide boundary cooling or boundary starvation and remove potential fuel from bulkheads adjacent to the fire zone. If instructed by the bridge, they will prepare the boat or boats. They bring extra water, blankets, SARS, EPIRB, the lifeboat radio and VHF radios. They also check that the engines are operational. The engine room team should muster and roll call before their other emergency duties.
Shipmate request 2021 exchanging. Use just one ballast pump. It's enough. Fire alarm. Proceed to
They're responsible for maintaining power supplies, starting the emergency generator and ensuring the main engine is available for maneuvering, closing down fuel systems, stopping and starting machinery, and isolating affected electric circuits and equipment.
Captain, electric power for main deck is cut off. Emergency generator and fire pump ready for use.
They must also check all pumps and make sure the emergency fire pump and emergency generator are available for immediate use. It's important that every member of the engine room team is familiar with all the available escape routes from the area. The first aid party is often headed by the cook or steward. They collect stretchers, blankets, first aid kit, and, if there is one available, a resuscitator pack, which may be used to help anyone overcome by smoke and fumes. As part of their familiarization and training, any new member of the crew should have learnt about the ship's fire alarms and signals, where the extinguishers in any area are located, and what type they are. To build on that very basic level of knowledge, it is an ISM requirement that certain drills are carried out regularly in line with the ship's safety management system, or SMS. Emergency and fire drills should always be taken seriously and include everyone. They should be based on real incidents if possible. It's important to make them interesting, meaningful and realistic. Fire drills should cover training in the use of fire extinguishers, hoses and nozzles, breathing apparatus, protective clothing, rescue and other firefighting equipment. Operate and test watertight doors, accommodation and engine room vents, fire dampers and emergency shutdown devices. To test procedures and reveal any potential problems, the type of emergency and its location should be varied. The forecastle paint store, for example, or somewhere in the accommodation, the engine room, the pump room and so on. In some drills, close off parts of the ship as fire areas, so that crew must find alternative routes to muster stations and the supposed fire. Note the time taken from sounding the alarm to mustering at stations. Try to improve upon it from drill to drill.
Hi Greg, radio check please.
Loud and clear, I can hear you.
Test communications.
I'm just in front of the accommodation.
Note any blind spots for radio contact
I'm here right now.
and find alternative positions for transmitting.
Okay, all copy, thank you.
The whole purpose of fire drills is to make sure everyone knows exactly what to do in an emergency. Training helps teams to work efficiently together. It also inspires confidence by good leadership and example. We're going to follow a real incident from start to finish, the kind that could happen on almost any ship. The procedures and problems would be similar. A seafarer comes down the stairs, opens the door, and finds the passage full of smoke.
Oh, God! Fire! Fire!
Hearing no one, he shuts the door to the corridor, raises the alarm, and tells another crew member that there is a fire. On the bridge, the alarm has been heard.
Yes, Captain speaking.
Hello, Captain, I discovered a smoke in the main deck.
The seafarer reports the fire.
Chief, Captain speaking. Put the engine on standby.
The engines are put on standby.
Let me know when the engine is ready.
Parties muster. Hoses are run out. The breathing apparatus party don their equipment and go through pre-entry safety checks.
Okay with that, yeah? Okay.
The object of all the drills and training that has taken place is to get the right personnel and equipment to the seat of the fire as quickly as possible.
Captain, second mate.
The master receives a report that 2 men are missing.
Just for your information, sir, that we have two casualties.
The priority is to find these 2 men and bring them to safety. If portable radios are available, the officer in charge will be able to communicate with the team while they're inside. If this is not the case, then a good briefing is doubly important.
Captain, Chief, just to inform you, the fire party have 10 more minutes of there.
Okay, just keep
The
an eye
fire
on it.
party leader tells the master that BA Team Number 1 has 10 minutes of air left. Remember, this is only a guide. The actual time left will depend on how hard they are working, the amount of heat and humidity, and the physiology and training of the crew members concerned.
I've just heard from the first response team. They're on their way out now. They report.
The fire is spreading upwards into deck 1.
Okay, stop boundary cooling from deck number 1 and start boundary cooling from deck number 2.
The chief officer discusses with the master whether any areas should be boundary cooled or boundary starved, and ways to control the spread and removal of heat and smoke. Inside the fire area, the first casualty has been found. He's given oxygen from a resuscitator pack while they prepare to carry him out. If the fire party had an EEBD with them, this could be used instead. Keeping together, the firefighters tackle the fire with water spray.
Should we consider selective ventilation?
The chief officer orders some selective ventilation to remove smoke and steam from the fire zone. The support party brings up more BA cylinders. The rescue party find the second casualty. He went into a very smoky area without considering a route of escape. Panic can lead to even experienced seafarers sometimes acting against their training. It's vital to keep your back towards the escape route. Never get into a situation where the fire can come between you and your exit. At the scene of the fire, the firefighters have been successful. and the fire is under control. They check for any other possible danger spots and then, as the air is running out, return to report. A fire watcher is sent in to guard against the possibility of reignition.
Bridge Chief Officer, in the storeroom, no signs of fire, over.
Okay, keep an eye on that and let me know.
Checks must extend to all 6 sides of the fire zone. This includes areas that might have been endangered by secret fires spread through trunking, void spaces or other routes.
So how do you think that drill went?
Generally was okay.
After both drills and real incidents, the master must call together the leaders of the various parties
Who make fire.
to look in detail at what has happened and review, re-evaluate
No, I think we need to be
and refine procedures.
not generally, and I think finally everything will be okay. Chief, Captain,
Yes, Captain, go ahead.
let me know the latest
With that
situation.
fire, clearly communication played an extremely important role.
Just had contact with the first response team.
Communication is of the utmost importance to everyone in an incident, and that may well mean everyone on board.
Out of control, still out of control.
Communication should consist of the efficient and precise transfer of information and the identification of the source.
Captain, second mate.
In other words, who is speaking and from where.
Turn that start searching.
Greg.
Always talk slowly and clearly, especially when using a portable radio
Loud and clear, I can hear you.
or the radio that some BA sets have built into the helmet, as background noise or language issues, for instance, may make it hard for the listener to hear and understand. As well as this, to avoid misunderstanding, orders should be repeated back by the receiver.
Captain, bridge.
Consider having one person using the radio. This allows others to concentrate on the overall problem, rather than becoming overoccupied with messages. Lastly, remember that portable radios must be kept charged and ready for use at all times. You can find more information about the topics we've covered in the workbook. Now, let's briefly look back at some key points from this programme.
Guys, smoke detected in steering gear room.
The first task is to provide coordination, communication and control.
What would you like us to do next?
The master has the command role, usually on the bridge.
Boundary cooling and keep me updated every 10 minutes.
The officers and crew are typically organised into different parties. One or more attack parties, plus the first aid, engine room and support parties. The parties should be kept together as units. Pick the right people for each party. Everyone must be fully trained. Always take drills seriously and make sure others do as well. Make them interesting, meaningful and realistic. Vary the location and nature of the emergency and make sure that some include fire equipment training.
Captain, Chief, just to inform you the fire party have 10 more minutes of there.
Communication should involve the efficient and precise transfer of information.
Bridge Chief, yeah, all copied.
Always talk slowly and clearly.
Captain, Chief.
Fire is out of control, still out of control.
Orders should be repeated back.
And boundary cooling.
Have someone else using the radio, if that's possible, and keep portable radios fully charged at all times. Finally, remember that command and control by the officer in charge at the point of incident is vitally important. It needs firm and imaginative leadership. The delegation of duties to the right person. Constant vigilance
Yeah, Captain, electric power for
and
maintenance
clear
of
communication with the master.
emergency generator and fire pump ready for use.
The safety of the ship and the lives of all on board could depend on it. Posters are an effective way of reminding seafarers about safe working practices. There's more information about posters in the workbook. This Videotel programme is the third in a series of 5 on firefighting at sea. Programme 1 deals with fire prevention. Programme 2 with basic firefighting. Programme 4, the next in the series, with command and control by the master. And Programme 5 with machinery space fires. Further information can be found in the workbook which accompanies this series of programmes.